right, week 2 of the NFL season. I got to give you 7 games. There's too many good ones to talk about. So let's roll through these and give you some things to look for in these games coming up on Sunday and on Monday, too. We've got a great weekend schedule. Buffalo at Jacksonville. Jacksonville coming off a loss against a Tennessee team that didn't overly explode offensively, made enough plays. Vince Young didn't play well. Kerry Collins can throw it. But you know what? Jacksonville has got to find a way to make bigger plays. Garrard threw a couple interceptions, and he didn't throw many of those last year. They got to get back at it. I think this is going to be an angry Jacksonville team, and they're going home, and I guarantee their head coach, Jack Del Rio, will work them. And they need to win this football game to keep pace, even though the Colts lost also and the Texans lost. But you don't want to let a team get 2 games out in front if the Titans are able to go win in week 2. But this is a huge game for Jacksonville. Buffalo's confident, young, excitable. All you got to do is give a team with youth some confidence, and they will cut it loose. They're not going to be able to go 80 yards 4 times. They're going to need another Roscoe Parrish play or a catch and run or a long run by Marshawn Lynch. They got some big plays last week. They're going to need him again against Jacksonville. Jacksonville's too physical. Low-scoring game, but I'm taking Jacksonville to get their record to 1-1. Chicago at Carolina. How about the Bears? Their defense looked like a Super Bowl team. Matt Forte, the running back, does not look like a rookie. And Kyle Orton, I don't want to hear he just manages it because, that's a negative connotation for a quarterback. We want to hear that he went out and won the game, and he did. He played well, didn't throw the ball to the other team. On the other side of this, the Carolina Panthers, great road team, but now they're at home. One of the great leaders in football, and Jake Delhomme is back. There's a believability again, and their team's been on the hot seat, as has their head coach, John Fox. I think Carolina, which needs to get better at home, wins this football game because I think they're going to try to make the Bears one-dimensional. The key is, do the Bears have enough on the perimeter to beat the Carolina Panthers? And I like the Carolina Panthers run game. There's a toughness about them that hasn't been there the last couple of years. New Orleans at the Washington Redskins. I chose this game because Washington, you can't go down 0-2 in that NFC East. It's brutal. And then the New Orleans Saints are coming off a huge win on a difficult week off the field with the Hurricane, and then go and take care of Tampa at home in a tough divisional game. Now they got the Redskins who are going to come back, and you know how they're feeling. They don't want to go down. Jason Campbell didn't play well against the Giants. They've had a lot of days to prepare for this football game. The key here is the Saints, if they get after Jason Campbell. They rushed the quarterback pretty well against Tampa. They're going to score. The Saints are going to score. The key is, can the Redskins match the Saints point for point? It won't come down to offense for me. It's going to come down to which defense plays better, because if, in fact, the Saints can play great defense and keep the Redskins in that 17-point range, the New Orleans Saints will be 2-0. I'm taking the Saints to win on the road. The Indianapolis Colts and the Minnesota Vikings, Indianapolis played poor. The Minnesota Vikings passing offense was brutal. So what gives here? Are they going to be able to, and Indy's going on the road. They did not look like a Super Bowl caliber team, neither did the Vikings. Certain areas did. We got 2 great pass rushers in Jared Allen and Dwight Freeney, so the quarterback's backside better be alert. We got a quarterback in Peyton Manning that we know can deliver, and obviously you give him a huge advantage over Tavares Jackson. I don't know if the Vikings can throw the football. I don't. I know there's a good arm and he's got good talent. I just don't know if they can beat anybody throwing the football. So, again, if you're the Colts, your whole practice week on defense is to say, 28, Adrian Peterson, no. Now, he still may get his 100. He seems to do it every time you glance, but stay away from the big, long run. The Colts will be another team that Tony Dungy understands how to get a team to bounce back. This is not like the Colts to be out of first place after a game during the season. I like the Colts on the road. Manning will bounce back and have a big game. We'll get more comfortable. Even though it's a great defense, they're going to have to throw the football, run some screens, because the Vikings are tough to run against. I think Peyton Manning bounces back. One-dimensional football team of the Vikings, and until they can play 2 dimensions, they're not going to have a chance to win the division, and they're going to struggle to make the playoffs. How about New England at the New York Jets? Now, this is an intriguing game, and I'm going with the Jets. I don't ever pick against New England because I just always think they're the best team. But without Tom Brady, they're not the best team. And Matt Castle will get a start. The Jets are going to turn it loose defensively with Eric Mangini and trying to give Matt Castle different looks and give him some different blitzes and see how he can handle them. Interesting to see offensively what the Patriots are going to do with are they going to spread it out? Are they going to be more conventional? Are they going to just cut it loose and try to do the same things Tom did? Well, they can't do that, but they're going to need some big plays. Brett Favre made a couple last week. I like what the Jets are doing, and this is a huge game. And the Jets always play the Patriots well, and that's with Tom Brady. I'm going to go with the Jets. I think Brett Favre and the Jets win this football game. Meadowlands are going to be going crazy. I don't think New England's going to be able to respond as quickly as we think they are. And if they do, then Matt Castle has stepped his game up, and I believe he can throw it too. But this is a different game when you come off the bench and play a game or play 2 or 3 games. It's his football team now on offense. Interesting to see how they approach it offensively. And defensively, they'll just try to prevent Brett Favre from making the big play. It's going to be, keep an eye on the fun thing will be watch is all the different looks both defenses give in this football game. You'll see a ton from Mangini and from Bill Belichick for the Patriots. San Diego at Denver. Denver coming off a huge win. This is another back-to-back big rival games for the Denver Broncos. The Chargers coming off a devastating loss. Many think that they're the best team in football. They didn't play like it, gave up too many points, and I'll continue to say it until the Chargers prove to me they can close. You know, they're good setup men, but until they can close on a continuous basis every single game. They did for a great stretch after a slow start last year, couldn't close in the AFC Championship game. They had this game won against Carolina, couldn't close. And for a defense that's as gifted as there is in the league, they sure let the Panthers go up and down the field. The Panthers are running the football better last week, and I fully expect the Denver Broncos to try and match what the Panthers did last week, running the football better and trying to get some of that going, and then work play action to try and get the Chargers to cheat and bite a little bit. But when it's close, the Chargers aren't closing things out, and that's a huge loss in a division that they should win going away. But Denver has something to say about that. After throwing 40-plus on the Raiders, they fully expect to have a big game. I'm going to go with the Chargers. I don't think they're going to lose back-to-back games, but it'll be a close football game. The key is, can the Chargers stop the Broncos from running and throwing and making that big play? Chargers defense has got to step up. They're better than that, and they didn't pressure the passer like we need them to. If you're a Charger fan, or like their fans need them to, and like the Chargers need to. If you let Cutler sit back and throw it, they'll eat you alive. But I like the Chargers to bounce back in this football game. And then finally, Philadelphia at Dallas. I'm going to go with the Philadelphia Eagles in an upset. Now, I don't know how big an upset it is, but it's at Dallas' home field. And that's saying something because I think the Cowboys are as gifted as there is in the league also. But I just love the momentum Donovan McNabb has going into the season. People still had question marks. Two great quarterbacks that played well last week, in Tony Romo and Donovan McNabb. Marion Barber a little banged up, expected to practice. The key here is Brian Westbrook, catching the ball out of the backfield. He needs 30 touches in this game minimum, where he runs it 23, 24 times, catches 10 balls. If he does that, Philadelphia will be able to stay in this game all the way. There will be a lot of blitzing and a lot of pressure on these quarterbacks. I expect it to be a big play game. Neither one of these teams want to grind you and go for 2 yards, 2 yards. Philly likes to throw it. Dallas likes to throw it, and they like to have big plays. I'm going to take Philly early, and it's going to make the NFC East awfully interesting. Philly in an upset at Dallas in a great, great Monday night football game. If you go to bed early on this one, or if you like football and you miss this, and you don't like football like I think you do, Philly and Dallas saving the best game for the last game of the weekend. I'll take Philly.
So you think you can tackle a pro? There's only one way to find out. Click on fantasy at opensports.com.